All right. You ready for this?
Yes.
You started saying that, and I don't know if it's the fat person in me, but I automatically started thinking, ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Hello, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to the Guardian Hub podcast, where we talk Destiny and our love of McDonald's. We sometimes bring on different guests, and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we have all the hosts, and sometimes we don't. Tonight, your hosts will be Cyn, myself, and Des. Des, how have you been doing?
Been doing all right. I've had an interesting time at work the past couple of weeks, but thankfully it will hopefully be over. So, yay.
Like interesting bad or interesting just meh?
Kind of meh. I had to go off-site to sort through some parts that we had turned up bad. So, yeah.
Hopefully you didn't have to travel far for that.
No, it was within. It was a decent range. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was still in town, so that's at least the biggest plus. It was just the fact that it was like a week and a half, I think we went over there, and it was just boring. Yeah.
I can imagine. Well, at least it's almost over, like you said. I've been traveling myself to a further store, which is double my commute one way to try to help out. And had a conversation today with my RM. Manny basically said that if I had been asked yet to move to that store full time, I was like, no, not yet. But he did mention maybe cutting my days back to 4, maybe doing 4 10s versus 5 8s, which would be good. It would cut back on the fuel expense having to travel that far. Just a little bit longer days, but would have more time, more days off where I wouldn't have to worry about traveling, which would be good.
Yeah.
So a plus there, and plus that you're almost done with that. What about the game? What have you been up to in the game?
Oh, I haven't been doing too much. Sadly, I mean, I've been hopping in. I've been doing the weeklies or the weekly story at least. I would have had a raid, but then apparently the 100.io screwed up on me, so I ended up not joining when I thought I joined. So, oh well.
Well,
Things happen.
Yeah, it's been interesting. There's a lot of technology that's been changing. We had the 100 IO bot changed a few months back, I think it was, and then our Craig bot's been going through some changes recently. It's definitely causes some chaos because it, limit the improvements, but stuff does break, right? We're used to that in games sometimes. I've definitely hopped in a little bit myself. Probably the same boat as you. Not as much as I should be. I've gotten the weekly story mission done. I did a couple raids this week. Both of them I did on my Titan. Got back into Valve Disciple, which is good. Saw that there was a Vogue post-it. Thought about joining it, but not sure on timing if that'll work for me for my schedule tomorrow. We are recording a little bit late in the week, or early in the week, I guess you should say. We're recording now on a Sunday. This timing didn't work out this past Thursday. Kingsley is away, and I was running a little bit behind myself, so timing didn't work. But luckily, you and I were able to make it.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, the game's been pretty light. Just kind of chipping away at some of the weekly or seasonal challenges for XP. Really hoping and really would like to do the caretaker challenge. I'm hoping it comes around one more time before the season ends, and I will be powerful enough to be able to handle it because that is holding me back. Whew. I mean, other than that, yeah, it's been light. I know we had a TWAB this week. We can get into that here in a little bit, but anything else interesting, lore wise, or anything else that you might have come up in a Discord that would be worth mentioning?
With my increased attention at work, I've been very lax in most Discord conversations, sadly. I have not quite been able to keep an eye on them as I've wanted to. So yeah, that's one reason I've been quiet here recently. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I've just been playing through a few games in the lull. I legitimately just finished the PS4 Spider-Man game.
Oh, nice. And how did you enjoy that?
Oh, dude, it was like the perfect game for Insomnia to make, to be honest.
And that was the first one, not Miles Morales, right? The first one?
Yeah. I'm going to move on to Miles here shortly because, I ended up getting that premium tier of PlayStation Plus, and both Spider-Man and Miles are basically bundled within that. So I'm just going to be taking my time and going through a few games that I've had interest in. But yeah, like I said, just finished that, and like I said, it's hilarious because I mean these are the same developers that did the Infamous series of games, so they've had experience making superhero games before, but this was, like I said, this just felt like a perfect match with all the mechanics and everything, and it is absolutely fantastic to play.
Nice. I haven't ventured out into other games yet, but I'll spoil it since Kingsley isn't here tonight. He's been playing a little bit of Cyberpunk, and I dabbled in it a little bit. I got it on sale a while back. I think he just recently picked his up on sale, and it sounded like he was really enjoying it. And a little bit I played, decent story. It's just hard for me to peel away when there's so much to do in Destiny, and I don't have enough time for that. It's been hard for me to peel away. But you mentioned the Spider-Man game being the perfect, perfect thing for insomnia. And so it sounds like you're staying up late playing it. I haven't been. I've been up late recently, but not playing games.
Well, that's actually the name of the studio. It's either Insomnia or Insomniac or something like that. But yeah, that's the studio. That's the
nice.
first. At least I still believe that they're first party Sony. But like I said, they did the Infamous games, and are they the ones that did Sly Cooper as well?
I'm not sure.
I'm wanting to say they also did Sly Cooper, because I know it was Naughty Dog that did Crash Bandicoot. So yeah, I want to say they did Sly.
I might have to pull that up on the other monitor and look.
Right.
It's Insomnia Studios. So while I'm looking that up, my actual insomnia where I've been staying up late, I've been watching some House.
Ah, God, that's good. Such a good series.
Oh yeah, and I'd watched it before, but with Prime, Amazon Prime Day or Prime Days is coming up, and within the next less than 2 weeks now. The other day, obviously when we're recording, it's really more like 10 days or so. They had like a bonus where you had to like watch something, download something, do something else, and then make a purchase. You get like $10 extra credit, and then they have some other things you can get where you can get bonuses towards your Prime Day spending. So I've been looking at trying to knock out some of that. I haven't spent the money on the other ones, but yeah, I ended up started watching House because I wanted to watch something on Prime for the one thing to do on there, and I just kept going with it.
Yeah.
So Insomnia, I see on their page they definitely do Spider-Man.
Yes.
Ratchet and Clank.
Oh god, they did Ratchet and Clank.
Yep.
I knew there was something else.
So
But
yeah,
they
maybe
did
it wasn't
first party
Crash. It
Sony.
was yeah, maybe it wasn't Crash. It was Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart because that's listed here on Insomniac.games. But I would say they've done a really good job with it. I played a little bit of Miles Morales, but never completed
Insomniac.
it.
Yeah, they did Ratchet and Clank, Spyro, the Resistance series. Oh come on, I know you did Infamous.
Unspoken, Stormland, Song of the
Oh my
Deep.
god, did they not? Oh wow, they may not have actually done Infamous. Then who did Infamous?
Now that I clicked in games, I can definitely see a lot more.
Infamous series. Oh no, that was Sucker Punch. Whoops, wrong people.
It is
Either way,
definitely
they did
hard to keep up with.
absolutely fantastic. I know,
Yeah,
right? Which I don't think Sucker Punch is first party Sony anymore. I think they made something for Xbox not long ago. Oh,
and
hey, good news is apparently with the 2023 projected release date is going to be Marvel Spider-Man 2.
nice. And the original Spider-Man, I believe, is coming to PC soon if it hasn't already. I thought I heard
Okay,
that somewhere.
and they're apparently going to do a Marvel's Wolverine as well. Jesus, there we go.
Yep, that was on their main page. I saw Wolverine on there and Spider-Man 2. Yeah,
Nice, nice. Oh, they did Sunset Overdrive. Wasn't that for Xbox as well? That was. Yeah, maybe they're not exactly first party Sony anymore. Either way, yeah. So I thought it was the people that did Infamous, but yeah, that was Sucker Punch. Oops. They
nice.
did a bunch of games that weren't in any way related to superhero stuff. Fantastic. Well,
This was
I
okay.
mean, it makes it actually even more astounding that they got so much feeling good, like in this game. It's, I mean, like not even just story wise, just like mechanics and like the technical detail that's kind of in this game with how the web swinging works is just truly astonishing. So yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. A little bit I played, I thought they did a really good job with that. Oh man. So we have a little bit to cover here in the TWAB. I know I was talking a little bit before show that I actually did finally get get a chance to browse it a little bit before a podcast. So I don't know if you want to take that away. They covered a few things in there.
They covered a little bit. Not, of course, not the meatiest of TWABs we've had. They are making some tweaks to airborne effectiveness, making some changes. Um, Predominantly in the primaries, that they're going to be looking to make primaries a little more effective in the air. So that's nice. They are also going. Um, I mean, yeah, we're getting an entire midseason uh, weapon pass, or I guess weapon sandbox tuning. But yes, for airborne effectiveness, they're improving baseline aim assist in the air for all primaries. They're adding a static airborne effectiveness buff to some existing perks, which would be nice. And they're raising the airborne effectiveness on several exotics. They are tweaking. This is going to be the tweak to certain weapon archetypes that have been underperforming. Changes they are making are to precision hand cannons, the 180 RPMs. They don't give new, of course, optimal time to kill, but they do list basically how they'll optimally time to kill. But yeah, they are touching precision hand cannons, precision auto rifles, which will be nice. Scout rifles, both precision, which is the 180 RPM, and the high impact, the 150s. Shotguns are going to be getting a PvE buff. That's going to be nice. They're going to go from a 10% PvE damage buff to a 25% damage buff, which is going to be super nice. Linear fusion rifles, they're happy with how the flinch, or the, I guess, added incoming flinch is working, at least in PvP, but it does have the unintended side effect of also making it more difficult to aim in PvE, so they're going to be fixing that to where it's less of a hassle in PvE. So that's nice.
Yeah, I see they mentioned that it's only going to be coming from other players versus basically the AI.
Indeed. They're going to be making several tweaks to special ammo, such as the fact that glaives were not getting enough ammo for a single kill. So they're going to be changing that, such as glaives. Instead of getting only one shot per brick, they're going to be getting 2 shots per brick. They're also, within that is the Forerunner. They will be increasing that to 4 shots. Even though you can comfortably get a kill in 3 shots with Forerunner, they're wanting to make it just a little more comfortable. Ariana's Vow will also be getting 2 shots per brick. That's always quite nice. They are upping, like I said, some of the airborne effectiveness for certain exotics individually. Source Regime, Monte Carlo, and the Forerunner are getting small bumps in their airborne effectiveness, and Whisper the Worm is getting actually a huge bump to its airborne effectiveness. That's funny. I don't know many people that are using that in PvP, but hey, more power to them.
Right. I've definitely seen Cloud Strike, definitely not Whisper, and people were using it's definitely been a while.
Yeah, right. Let's see. Lorenz, they are going to be tweaking to make it even less oppressive. They are going to be dropping the aim assist. They're going to be reducing they call it suction, against players. As well as removing the universal 2x flinch nerf from the previous change. Not following that, but yeah. Oh well. Galahorn, they're also going to be tweaking to the fact that the primary rocket will no longer have proximity proximity detonation. That word. And Wolfpack rounds will deal half damage to players. Oh crap. Which, if you ask me, is kind of fair enough. And last word,
Galahorn's definitely been the go-to, especially in Gambit.
Oh, yeah.
So.
100%. I mean, it's just kind of the smart thing to do.
Right.
I mean, and last word, they're going to make it just a little harder to hit headshots. while hip firing, and try to be a little less deadly at extended ranges, which is nice. But so far, they are saying that it's in a decent spot. It's just, they're touching it just a little, just to keep it in check. And that's predominantly it for at least what they're telling us in this mid-season weapon pass.
I would say a lot of those are fair.
Yeah.
I did see the last word. I got an alert from Twitter actually. I think it was Grenader Jake, and he had, I guess, this meme video about the last word being nerfed. He basically, I guess, shredded on the fact that he can use other stuff, and he always uses other stuff. He doesn't need to use last word, and even so, even if they nerf it, he'll probably can still use it. And that's right. I think that's right for most players who are really good, even with some of these nerfs that are coming. If it's something that they like using and they're really good at using it, they're still going to and still be really good with it.
That's a weird flex to post on Twitter about, but okay. Because, like you said,
Jake's been known for that PvP stuff, carries and such. And
that
he
doesn't
probably
mean.
playing. Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of people that do that, but I'm sure plenty of them don't outwardly say, "Yeah, you can nerf it, but I'm still going to be awesome with it because I'm awesome."
He might not have said it exactly like that, but I think it was just kind of acknowledging people, like probably giving him grief that they're nerfing it and saying like, what are you going to do? I think the fact that he says, I don't need to use it, I can use other stuff, but even so, if I want to use it, I'm still probably going to be okay with it.
Yeah, but still, I mean, no matter, like I said, it's not as ham-fisted ego as my parody of that, but it's it's still dripping ego, and it's like, okay,
right.
it's not a nice way to toot your own horn, buddy. I mean, like I said, weird flex, but all right.
Whatever works for you.
Right? I mean, whatever.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll
then you
still
have
be
people like
garbage with
me.
it.
I was about to say, then you have people like me that no matter how good it was, I still can't make it work. So, whatever.
Right. I can never get into hand cannons either way, regardless if it was last word or something else. I just could never really use them.
Oh no, hand cannons I love. It's just like I said, last word. It's a different beast. Somehow. But I like, a lot of these changes look really good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I also haven't played PvP much, so I haven't run across too much of Lawrence, so I don't really know how it feels now. But I mean, to be fair, like, cool, getting a nerf.
Yeah, I mean, it's still around some, but probably not as much as it was when it first came out. I mean, it definitely was oppressive with that suction aspect. I think it'll be a little more bearable, I think, with those changes on the receiving end, I should say.
Yeah. Oh, I
Definitely
can't wait.
interested. Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
can't wait. I was just saying, I can't wait to try out some of these hand cannon changes because 180s they've been in this weird spot where a lot of them feel like really good to use, but their time to kill just sucks so bad that it's a tragedy that they're not better.
Right.
So hopefully this can put them in a decent space. Hopefully.
Fingers crossed. I mean, I've used hand cannons more in PvE for sure than I have in PvP. I'm definitely interested in seeing how the shotgun changes are going to play out. Um, I think for the most part, I've been using fusions for a while and haven't really been getting off of them. Used glaives some, depending on the scenario, especially with the unstoppable glaives this season. Um, yeah, but I think shotguns would be a nice change if they are a little more viable now with that damage increase. It'd be nice to kind of see how that plays into raids and higher end content.
Indeed. Let's see. See, right now precisions have. Okay, the good news, like I said, Bungie does list the fact that precisions will kill in 1.33 seconds with all body shots, which is a drastic improvement to its current body shot TTK, which is at 1.67. That's actually really good. So yeah, we could see that. We could see the optimal TTK of 1 second potentially dropping down to about this, potentially at least around the same as like adaptives, which are like 0.87s. So I wouldn't be surprised if it goes down to like 0.9, which I feel like would be a really good place for them. Maybe not the most competitive choice, but they'd be able to hang a little bit at least.
Yeah, I can see that.
Precision auto rifles are about in the same place with the 1 second. Nope, that's 0.8. They actually, precision auto rifles are going to be really good to use. Because they share the same time to kill with adaptive 600 RPM auto rifles, but of course they need all criticals in order to hit that, which is no bueno. So at the very least, because they're increasing body shot damage from 19 to 20, which isn't super huge, and precision multiplier is going from 1.6 to 1.5, so the headshot damage is actually staying the same, but it is doing better body shot damage. So yeah, ideally that should help it. Maybe we'll see. That one's definitely a weirder, like roundabout than the precisions.
I'm trying to think. I was looking. What is the most common precision auto rifle?
Well, probably potentially one of the most common right now would probably be this season's Firefright, considering disrupting the season.
Right.
But no, that is a precision. See stuff like Shadow Price, Horror Story, the Braytech Werewolf, things like that. They definitely don't see very often play. I mean, I've been killed by a couple Firefrights. But again, it's a popular season weapon, so that's no matter how good or bad it is, people are going to use them at least a little bit in PvP.
Right. Gotta try it out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how that one, because with headshot time staying the same, I don't like. Maybe they're trying to shave off one of those headshots, and a body can suffice. I mean, that'd still be an awful crit percentage to shoot for. And scouts, which they are at least changing crit damage on high impact scouts. That's nice because that's another. Actually, no, that might be bad. High impact scouts are already the best thing to use. What are they doing? Okay,
Spicing
that's
things
weird.
up a little bit.
Right. Let's see, 2 crit 1 body instead of its current TTK. Oh, of 3 crits. Okay, so they're not really increasing the time to kill on high impact scouts. They're still going to be 0.8s, but at the very least, you can two crit 1 body. Which they need all 3 crits right now in order to kill 3 shots. So yeah, they're just going to feel a lot better to use. So yeah, needing what 66% instead of 100. That's not awful. And then 180s. Oof. Yeah, they need some love. Which again they should, because they'll 2 crit 2 body, or they need right now 4 crits. Ooh. Either way, yeah. Should be nice to use. It'd be nice. Of course not. That's way too late.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see how it. When do the changes go live? Did you say that?
They just mentioned. I don't think they mentioned an exact time, because I'm also not seeing an exact time. They just mentioned that this is a mid-season weapons preview. But yeah, I'm not seeing a time frame for this particular drop, unless it got mentioned in the player's board, which I can believe. No, not mentioned there either. So whenever it comes, because unless you're saying a day, I'm not saying a day.
I don't think it mentioned it, honestly. I'm going.
Oh,
back
solstice.
Ah,
Well, they do mention they moved some of them to solstice, and I believe that's when they said they might have said before when a mid-season patch was going to come out. Might have been around solstice, so sometime soon, in the next couple weeks, because
makes sense.
solstice starts.
It starts relatively soonish, doesn't it?
Maybe next week, because I can't remember exactly when it said, but it might end up being, because it might have coincided with my birthday.
I know
This
we're
year's
what
next Tuesday.
week- So next Tuesday, it's coming up quick.
I don't know. Like I said, and I wait, season of the haunted. Maybe
We
they
were
have a day
6
for
weeks
solstice.
in. So I think it was about. I want to say it was coming up. If not next week, it would be within the next couple weeks for sure. Because we're 6 weeks in already, almost 7 by the time this releases.
Yeah. It's weird. I made fun of a calendar for so long, and now that we don't have like roadmap calendars, I'm like completely lost. Go figure, right? Oh man, if only had a slightly better memory.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, I wanted to say solstice was lining up with with hilariously my birthday, which would make it next week.
Solstice. Seasons to kick off on July 19th. 2 weeks. 2 weeks away.
19. Yes, 2 weeks. Fair.
So
What was that thing? What's happening? Anyway, all right.
So you heard it here. You got some planning. Everybody's got some planning to do for that week. We'll have the new sandbox live. Of course, the solstice shenanigans for sure.
The return of the EAZ.
Oh yeah,
Is that solstice, right?
it is. No, now you're going to make me question that. Is it the AZ?
I think so. Because yeah, solstice is the armor,
Yes.
and that's
Yes.
EAZ.
Yes, it is definitely the European aerial zone. So the AZ is definitely. We'll have that back.
Yay!
I did not participate in a lot of the EAZ triumphs in the previous years. Even though
I don't know.
I've been gung ho on them recently.
I do now suddenly remember them saying that it's going to be more open this year. It's going to be easier to traverse.
I think that
Like,
would be a
apparently,
nice change.
right? Because I think they mentioned a lot of like the building barriers and stuff will be removed to make it easier to move across it.
Yeah, I think I don't it may not have really been that difficult from what I remember, but certainly cumbersome.
Yeah, it can be annoying. It can definitely be annoying, especially since they started like showing you where all the chests are at the end of it, and reaching them could be, like you said, very cumbersome.
Oh yeah.
But also at the same time, I don't know if opening it up more will make people hate it less.
Might do exact opposite.
I mean, I don't know if that's what they need uh, to make the EAZ a little more accepted. I doubt it, but we'll see how it goes. As per usual, I'll probably hit it fairly hard the first week, and then not so much
Right.
after.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. The solstice just really marks, we're getting close to the end of season as well, coming up to the next season. Um, Something
Right.
new in the game for those last few weeks of this. So it'll definitely be fun.
What's going to happen next season?
All right.
Like, is Eris going to go full hive, and we're going to have to deal with her all of a sudden? Like, I mean, come on, what's happening?
A side
I still,
tangent really quick about Eris.
Mhm.
New movie that just came out. It is called The Northman.
Yeah.
So it's on one of the streaming channels. I can't remember which, but I ended up watching it one night, and there is a lady in there, and her dress or garb or her face, like her headdress or whatever, had like these three jewels coming down, and I could not help like just picture Eris right there. I was like, man, this is the perfect live action Eris right now.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, go see it. You'll see what I'm talking about with this one character in there.
Interesting.
Sorry to sidetrack you, but
No, you're all good.
so Eris might go full hive, you said, next season.
I mean, who knows at this point in time? I've not been one to try and predict stories from season to season, because Lord knows, again, using the Crown of Sorrow to try and disconnect Callus from the Lunar Pyramid on a derelict Leviathan and it coming back, I wouldn't have predicted that. So yeah, I just a little nutty. I mean, we do know we have the raid to look forward to next season at some time.
Yes.
The
That's
reprised
one
raid.
thing.
Yes. Still gonna hope for Wrath. Still gonna hope for it. Not expecting it, but still gonna hope for it.
Hoping for
Still
Wrath, expecting King's Fall at this point.
Exactly.
I'm hoping
that's
they do throw that curveball at us.
right. It would be nice, but also at the same time, I mean, they already explained there was like limitations, so it's like, all right, I don't have my hopes up too much for Wrath, but it'd still be nice if they were able to surprise. Oh, hey, we worked it out quick. Oh.
Oh man, a lot to look forward to. Solstice this season again. New raid next season. New story, of course. These new sandbox changes. Autos, scouts, shotguns. Some good things, some bad things. If you're a PvP player, obviously, give you something different to look forward to or something different to learn. Yeah, it's exciting times. other than that, I mean, it's really been a light week. Other than that, I don't really have much else to cover at this point. Usually, Kings League keeps us in line with that aspect of it. I really want to start
Whatever.
singing Kingsley come back. Oh man. Well, if you got nothing else, Des, we can keep it short and sweet and keep it about an hour this week. Something light for our listeners. I know we considered a little bit beforehand, maybe doing a rerun, but I always think it's nice, me personally, just going ahead and knocking out a show, even if it's a little late, because it gives us something to talk to, and we might have something, even if it's not a lot to talk about, and
Right.
we don't have to try to remember it next week, because I know my memory is awful.
Right. Just like the fact that I can actually cover the fact that I watched Multiverse of Madness recently, or like 2 weeks ago.
Right?
Which it was a surprise drop on Disney Plus. Like, no, wait, yeah, I did mention that. But yeah.
Yep. I was
No,
trying to think if we talked about it last week when we were talking Star Wars.
No, we didn't. Which, like I said, I said I was going to mention something about it, and I never did. And it's like, oh god.
But you enjoyed it, and it was good.
No, I did enjoy it. I actually supremely did enjoy it, and because it's weird. Before I watched it, I noticed some, I guess, critique on it that after watching it, I actually completely don't agree with.
I'm kind of curious to that critique.
It was just the fact that maybe it was a little, like maybe they could have let it be a little more serious, you know? Like there was, like they didn't let the drama like set in or whatever. Before like pulling off some kind of like cheesy joke or gag or whatever.
Right.
But as I was watching it, there's something you really got to like. It's not a Marvel movie. Multiverse of Madness is not a Marvel movie. It is 100
different.
Yeah, well, that's because it is 100% a Sam Raimi movie, like through and through.
Which is definitely not a bad thing. I mean, I could see that critique, say maybe more seriousness, because they did have.
Oh yeah.
And I haven't watched it for a second time yet, and I should go back and watch it for a second time, because watching it in theaters, I want to say I do remember it being a little more playful in tone, but I think it still got the Marvel. It was still Marvel without being Marvel, like that Sam Raimi feel, like you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, because you go back, you watch the original Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, and no matter how serious they attempted to make it, there was this like level of like levity that just came across the entire thing, and it's something that has like marked pretty much every Sam Raimi movie. And yeah, like Philip's saying in our live chat, 100% like the Sam Raimi like camera angles and camera shots. I will say there were cameos that were absolutely fantastic to see. So I mean, it was great. It actually like it tripped me out to see a certain character return. And
we're talking about the where he met like that board. I call them board members, but like all of the people in this other universe.
Yeah, the Illuminati.
The Illuminati, yes. And the one in the theater, I can tell you, when the last one came down or flew down, everybody screamed. And like I'm definitely like my buddy that I go with to these movies. He definitely knows a lot about it, just like you. And I was like, what is everybody hooping and hollering for? Like, I don't even like, who is it? Like, why are we screaming over this guy? And I guess it had to do like with the actor or something like that. And
yes,
yeah,
Yes, 100%. Yes, I mean it's a fantastic cameo. He is comic book accurate, which is hilarious and goofy to see. But of course, then again, for those that are a fan of this particular character, and you watch the trailers give him away. Because I knew he was in it just from the trailer. There's very few people that sound like this particular actor. And yeah, I heard it and it's like, oh, that's them. That's them. They're in this movie. And yes, that part came around and 100% right. But no, like I said, it's definitely less of a Marvel movie. It's definitely more of a Sam Raimi flick. I mean, including the only thing missing to make it a true Sam Raimi flick would be the cameo from his brother. His brother was nowhere to be seen in Multiverse of Madness, sadly. Bruce Campbell was able to make a cameo, but not his brother, which I forget his name now. But yeah, but yeah. So yeah, if you haven't watched it, yeah, it's one of those that definitely like a little bit of a forewarning will definitely serve you well, but also at the same time, if you're a fan of Sam Raimi, you know exactly what you're going to get into. So it is a Sam Raimi movie with a Marvel skin.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have
So,
to go back and watch it for a second time now. Now, have you watched it more than once already, or just the once?
No, just the once. Hilariously, like I went through. It's like I was able to pinpoint and pick out all these like camera angles and gags, and just it's like, oh, that's the Sam Raimi thing. Oh, that's the Sam Raimi thing. But apparently, like that movie has actually went through a lot of changes since its inception. Because I know the actors in interviews have joked around. It's like there's been so much that changed that the only thing that stayed the same is the name of the movie. Yeah, but I do appreciate Sam Raimi doing it because there are also a lot of scenes that definitely creep you out. It's got like that Sam Raimi like horror touch to it as well. Like it's definitely got Evil Dead vibes. Because yeah, even though Evil Dead was goofy in places, it could still scare the crap out of you.
Right.
So I mean, he definitely let some of that come through too. That was fantastic.
The dark-haired, three-eyed, strange.
Oh yeah,
He was definitely creepy.
yeah, yeah. That's. I guess that's my catch up on news. Multiverse of
Amazing.
Madness. If you're a Sam Raimi fan, definitely watch it. If you're a Marvel fan, watch it, but understand that it's a Sam Raimi movie.
It took the words right out of my mouth, except probably wouldn't have done it so eloquently as that. I would have just said, go watch it.
I mean, yeah, that's like the only forewarning you need. And like I said, if you're a fan, you already know. Or if you're a fan of Sam Raimi, you already know. And if you're not, this is what you can expect from him, essentially. Because this is everything a Sam Raimi flick is like in this movie. So if you enjoy it, go watch Evil Dead and Army of Darkness. Even though Army of Darkness isn't that scary, it's more funny. Either way, it's a good watch.
Do it. Do it now. And then tell us about it next week in our live chat here in Discord.
Sure.
Well, Des, as we close up tonight, got some good talk in, got some good Destiny, got some good other talk in.
Good Destiny.
We'll catch up with everybody again next week. Might have a little bit more to cover, just on the cusp of Solstice being out by the time we record next week. We won't have Solstice just yet, but we'll be on the cusp of it.
We should have news of Solstice next week.
Yep.
At the very least.
Hopefully,
or at least remind us of some of these changes and stuff that are coming.
Right.
And what's going to make it new. And hopefully we can get a sneak peek of the Solstice armor this year. Hopefully.
I'm going to be going for it either way. I have every year.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah. Like, Solstice Armor has looked pretty good, like, from year to year. And it's only been getting better. So far, there's no reason for me not to think that I'm not going to go hard for the Solstice Armor.
Right. I'll be doing the same thing, and I'll probably do it on all 3 characters because I had done that in the past, just to have them.
Yeah.
Well, Des, another week in the books for us here at the Guardian Hub. I don't know if I mentioned at the beginning of the show, but we're at episode 168 of TGH this week. Next week, we'll see you at 169. Des, tell everybody where they shall find you.
You shall find me most easily and most promptly in the Discords. Either ours or within our Fellowship of the Discords, shall we say. And of course, you can find me on Twitter at DES_Raven, which I still haven't installed Twitter on this phone. It's actually amazing. I keep forgetting to do that. So yeah. Definitely not going to find me responsive there. That's for sure, but I'm there. So yeah, Cyn.
You can find me telling Des to download Twitter right now as I'm doing the outro. First, you can find Kingsley on most every place as Kingsley Mac, except for on Twitter at MC Kingsley. And you can find me on Twitter, Cyn_media, or currently in Derelict Leviathan, running around getting my glaive kills for this Triumph for the week. Or, of course, in the Discord, which is most of the time where I'm lurking and responding and catching up just like you there. Now, the best part of this is you can find our show on Twitter at The Guardian Hub or on our lovely website, theguardianhub.com.
Best hub on the net.
Amazing. Thank you, Des. And thank you to all of our lovely listeners out there listening either live, and we got a few tonight. Thank you all for joining on our alternate recording night here on Sunday. And thank you to everybody listening on your amazing podcast app of choice. And until next week, stay magical.
Later.